guys, it's Ahmer here. So today we're going to go ahead and recap a little bit of my experience at the Southeast Game Exchange, the video game convention that's in Greenville, South Carolina. So I just went over the past weekend and I had such an amazing time. So I can't wait to go ahead and tell you a little bit about my experience. So let's go ahead and check it out. This is a convention that I've been to before. I went to my very first video game convention ever, actually at the Southeast Game Exchange. So that is in Greenville, South Carolina. They have it every year. It's usually around July, and this year it was July 9th and July 10th. So this is at the Greenville, South Carolina, the convention center that's right there, and this is such an amazing time anytime that I go. This is the second year in a row that I've been, and I really had a great time. So I'll go ahead and talk a little bit about my experience and why I went down there and kind of what happens when you go to this particular video game convention. So this right here is a little bit of an event guidebook that tells you everything that took place at the video game convention. It is 2 days long, July 9th and July 10th, so that is a Saturday and Sunday. So of course, I got down there on Friday, which was much better than last year as I was kind of cutting it close, as it is a little bit of travel time to get to this particular convention for me in particular. And I had a great time. I was able to meet up with several other YouTubers, really awesome people, some friends from Maryland, some friends from pretty much all over, several different states. They have some actors, voice actors, they have some kind of celebrity people that attend this particular video game convention. They just really have a great mix of everything. They have tons of video game vendors as well, where they just sell a bunch of art prints, they sell different art styles, a little bit of everything related to video games, and kind of a mix of Pokemon and cards and figures and toys, and of course video games. So they have all of these different stores that kind of bring a bunch of their prized possessions, bring some of their better quality items to this video game convention, and of course they have tons of deals that you can make along the way. They even have an area that's set up where you could go ahead and play games on particular monitors. You have different things set up. They even have an entire back area where they have this whole entire little competition where you can compete and play against one another on certain particular games. They have a whole entire area of these amazing arcade games, which I definitely had to stop by and check out some of the arcades. Really neat seeing some of the older style arcade machines. Even saw this really cool Blockbuster kind of gumball machine that was also posted for sale. And that almost came home with me, but instead I decided to save my money, put it towards something else. So it's just really a great time as you kind of mingle with everyone. The first day you have all of these different video game panels. So they have tons of different rooms at this convention center where you have a lot of the bigger YouTubers and a lot of YouTubers in general just kind of hosting these different panels, whether you talk about games, talk about selling and whatnot, talk about your experience on YouTube. And of course, what we did, it was me and 5 other YouTubers, so a lot of my good buddies there, we decided to have a SNES showdown. So we had a Super Nintendo Entertainment System showdown. So, of course, what we did was, there were 6 of us competing in total against one another. Someone from the audience would pick a game out of a box that we had. We would spin a wheel, and it would be some sort of challenge that we would have to do in order to play these games, whether it be one hand behind your back, playing with 2 people on one controller, playing by not looking at the screen, by completely turning away, playing with the controller upside down, and of course we had tons of other amazing little crazy challenges, and that was definitely a lot of fun. So you'll have to check out my video that I did on that particular panel. Did attend a few other panels as well and kind of caught glimpses of some of the others. So that was definitely a great time. So I'd like to thank Austin for organizing this entire event and of course inviting me down to South Carolina and being a part of one of the panels there. So that was definitely a great time. So this kind of tells you everything that's in this little book here, and it shows you all of these different Let's Plays. So there are some tournaments that are going on, and it tells you where at. There's, of course, cosplay. Tells you a little bit of some of the sponsors in here. Different panels, so of course there were a couple different rooms here, and it tells you the particular day. Then on to the special guests. They had such a variety. So of course they had voice actors for Pokemon, of course. That's kind of what the theme was this year. And then we even had the original artist for the logo for Mortal Kombat. It was really cool talking with him. Of course we had some wrestlers. We even had more YouTubers and special guests. So there were a bunch here just mentioned, and it was really cool to see all of my friends that I talked to pretty often. And then of course there was a map right here that tells you a little bit of everything there. Of course we continue on to all of these special guests and YouTubers, even the guy who has the pretty awesome Sega Pluto. So that's really cool, that prototype. There's only, I believe, 2 of them, so that is definitely pretty cool. And then of course we have all of these other YouTubers, several of the ones that I was in the panel with, and then even I'm listed on here, so that is definitely very cool, very humbling as well. So definitely had a great time, and it kind of shows you all the different sponsors as well, trying to get merch for this event, and which video game stores actually help sponsor this so that we can have a video game convention. So that was really neat. Those are the ones who kind of work with some of the YouTubers, getting some of the ones from further away into this event and special guests, so that it really creates such an amazing experience. So of course, as I'm walking around, I'm talking to everyone, having a blast, seeing some really neat things that I had not seen before in person. Here we have this really awesome console variant. We have this PlayStation 3. This is from the Bud Light Fan Camp Experience, the favorite beer of NFL fans. So we have this pretty cool Bud Light model. It comes in this really awesome case right here to go ahead and protect this. Very cool to see one of 50, which is estimated, of that console. That is definitely a neat find here. Some fire stuff right here. Pretty excited to see what the rest of the convention actually holds. And then as we kind of move along, you'll just see entire rows and aisles just full of video game items, whether it be store displays, standees, looking for kiosks, looking for store display cabinets, just a little bit of everything, promotional items. So of course when I go there, I'm trying to find something that is just so unique, something that they only have one of at the entire convention, not stadium events, as I did see one copy of that there and it was graded. So that was definitely a sight to see as well. But I just really wanted to do a couple, walk around, see what I could find, see what I had my eye on, and just not go crazy buying a little bit of everything. I wanted to focus in on something that I really wanted. So I really wanted to go over the quality, over quantity while I was there. So that was definitely pretty cool. And then of course I got to see the prototype in person of the Sega Pluto. Thought that that was really cool. Got to see a little bit of gameplay with that, just see how it was and how I wish that they would have came out with something like that. So that was definitely pretty neat. Definitely cool for the Sega fans. And of course everyone else who was in that little back corner there. All the YouTubers and other people, the special guests who were kind of set up there. So that was really neat. And then of course, as I'm walking around, I fall in love. I see a Sega Store Display Cabinet. One of the old ones from the Sega Genesis era, where they used to have them in several retailers like Walmart, Kmart. That metal with the glass, it says Sega on it, it's kind of etched in. Then it even has the Sega logo kind of mapped into the metal right there. So I did make a whole video on that. So make sure you guys do check that out, because that was definitely a holy grail item that I acquired there. And then of course, as you're just walking around, you're seeing tons of really cool items. So of course, as we're going on here, I'll definitely show a lot of the footage that I had, as I really had a great time and I had so much fun connecting with everyone, going out to dinner, just going back to some of their houses and just seeing other game rooms, kind of just playing games with everyone else and just catching up like nothing, you know, no time had passed. So that was definitely a really cool experience. Then of course, I did pick up something. It was not video game related, but it was this. Some guy actually had a lot of kind of stuffed animals. He had a lot of figurines, just a lot of different things other than video games. So definitely had to score this vintage Donkey Kong kind of plush looking doll. So it has like these plastic hands and feet, and of course the face. It looks like it's kind of painted on there. It says Donkey Kong. We have this little kind of velvet little patch on there, and it says Donkey Kong, Nintendo of America, 1982. So this is, of course, one of the older style little figurines here, and this is pretty cool because it does hang up. I believe that there is like a larger style of this as well, but this one was pretty cool. I've been looking for one of these to go with my original Donkey Kong bank that I have, one of those vintage banks that I added a little while back, so thought that that was pretty neat. And of course, just so much fun. Anytime that I go to these video game conventions, you just see tons and tons of items that you've either never seen before in person. They did have tons of other promotional items, store displays, standees, just a bunch of really cool little things that I may have already had or may have seen before for a little bit different pricing. So it was really cool to kind of see those in person. But overall, there were tons of deals. And of course, the second day that you go, that is the day to make all of the deals. So if you are kind of eyeballing a bunch of games, if they did not sell the first day, you could definitely try your luck the second day. Hopefully make a deal, as some people who kind of set up there, they might not want to haul everything back. And if you're willing to work a pretty reasonable deal with them, you might be able to get a bunch of stuff for a great deal. So that is definitely quite the experience. And then of course, you go back home, have to unload everything, and just find a spot for everything. So I will be having a cool little display area for my Sega items now once I get that cabinet in the house, kind of get it unpacked, and just go ahead and set it up. A little bit of how it was in its former glory, get some of my store displays and my lights kind of together around that Sega display, and just really get a cool experience in my game room. So of course, let me know in the comments below if there was anything cool that you saw in this video, something that you would have had to have and bring home. Did you also attend the Southeast Game Exchange? Just let me know and tell me all of the amazing deals that you got. And of course, thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe. Go ahead and check out my other videos and stay tuned for more.